Welcome to my channel, Manhwa Duo. Enjoy the manhwa.
Image of a snake that opened its mouth and sucked the smoke and fire into itself. Ping seemed unable to withstand all that power that was forming. His eyes and chest were almost exploding, until everything seemed to dissipate. He coughed incessantly in the gray room, saying, "Why did the fire go out?" It seemed something had happened to his heart, and feeling it heat up even more, Ping put his hand on his chest, saying it was very hot. Then he asked the system for an analysis. In response, the system showed his skills and the status panel. He realized that his growth potential had increased again. He still maintained his contract gem, Nightwalker, and analysis skills at the intermediate level. But then he saw that a new skill had been awakened, the Fire Devourer, which at the basic level was capable of devouring flames and converting them into elemental fire energy, storing them within his body. He could also discharge this stored energy. Thus, Ping concluded that as long as he continued to awaken new skills, his growth potential could be infinite. He continued to think, but I remember that everyone has a limit to their growth potential. Am I the only one who can awaken multiple skills? Examining his skill well, he knew it was what had devoured everything just now. He crossed his arms thinking, well, if I stop to analyze, I've already reached level 3 this morning and consumed a level 3 gem. His daydreaming was interrupted when she returned, saying, "What happened? How did the house end up in this situation?" She ran towards him, approaching. "Wait, did you throw the scarlet snake scale into the stove? That will cause an explosion. It's my fault for forgetting to tell you." Embarrassed, Ping put his hands on his head, wanting to apologize for the damage to the house, but she soon informed him, "What are you saying? Everything is fine if you're well. But how did you put out the fire? A fire that burns with the scarlet snake scale is not so easy to extinguish." Still awkwardly, he just mentioned that it was a long story. Next, she looked at the material he was working on and was surprised by what had come out. Oh, the fusion of the materials was really successful. Such a result requires extreme temperatures to be achieved. She picked up the material, positioning it in the mold, and stated, "You are really talented. The school is truly blind. With your current performance, it's more than enough to enter the 3 major organizations." As she hammered the equipment, Ping took the opportunity to ask, "Sister Chang, everyone always mentions the city guard and the investigation team of the 3 major organizations. So, what is the 3rd organization?" She was silent for a moment, put the dagger to cool where the smoke was coming out, and analyzing her work well, she replied, "The City of Pearl is indeed part of this 3rd organization. However, what the name of the organization is, what it does, no one knows." "That's right, little brother Jiang Ping. Weren't you trying to buy equipment earlier? If you don't mind, you can take this." She handed him the dagger she had just created, and he was surprised by the quality, even questioning if it wouldn't be too expensive. The system informed that this was the Tear of Beauty, of excellent quality. It was made of cold iron, able to easily cause damage to mutant beasts that are at the medium level, between 10 and 19 or below. As she said, based on the market rate of the materials, it will cost around $100,000. Our young man was amazed, as this meant 3 years' worth of salary. He was shocked, shouting, "Damn! Someone like me who has a monthly salary of only 3,000 can't even afford this?" Chang started laughing, stating that he could accept it as a reward for his progress. She then left, bidding farewell. "I still have a mission. I'll go first, but will you be okay if you don't go back to school?" Ping just replied, "Don't worry. I've already completed the early graduation procedures." Then with a smile, she asked him to take care of old Liu, stating that he was a bit unstable at the moment, and instructing him not to let the business open. Ping stood thinking, although this blacksmith shop has not been targeted by the celestial foxes because it is not open for business, but with the great commotion that just occurred, this may attract their attention. Since it's already night, I'll use the Nightwalker skill to check the surroundings. Some time passed. A girl calmly swung, enjoying that moment. However, as appearances can be deceiving, she was also a disguised level 3 celestial fox. Seeing her, holding a dagger in her hands, Ping thought, "This is the first time I've seen a celestial fox at such a low level. Her level is the same as mine. I'm also strengthened by equipment, so I should be able to defeat her. Although the city guard is completely fallen, the investigation team outside the city should not be affected." He kept his gaze fixed on the girl while still thinking, if I deliver the corpse of a celestial fox to them, maybe I can attract the attention of the high administration. Suddenly, something interrupted him. An ice crystal pierced his body as someone said, "Are you planning to attack the child?" making him completely frozen. "Don't even think about attacking," said the woman whose body was formed by translucent blue crystals. Jiang remained motionless, thinking, "This woman, she is much stronger than me. My Nightwalker ability and Assassin Ring are useless against her. She can see through them. Approaching his face, she declared, "Meet me at the orphanage training ground if you don't want to die." As beads of sweat ran down his face, our protagonist thought, the orphanage training ground? She disappeared? As he turned, he noticed that she had disappeared behind him, leaving only a few traces of blue clouds. It seems she is not with those celestial foxes. Otherwise, I would already be dead, he thought, observing the now empty space. Later, in front of the iron gates of the orphanage, Jang thought, I grew up in this orphanage. I spent my childhood practicing my mediocre fighting moves in that little park across the street. Does this woman know me? How else would she know my secrets? As he entered the place, he crossed the garden full of trees and stones, observing the surroundings. Not only that, but she has also been watching me the whole time. That's why she stopped me back there just when I was about to act. She must have brought me here for some reason. Suddenly, his thoughts were interrupted by a large red-skinned animal approaching. A four-legged being with scaly, hard, reddish skin, full of spikes and claws, looked at him with fiery crimson eyes. A mutant beast? Here in the forest? Our protagonist thought, and quickly activated the analysis. The system responded saying, Mutant beast, armored rat with a poisonous tail. Level 5, ability, poisonous tail, has a venom sac that can deliver a powerful toxin through bony spurs at the tip of the tail. Observing the mutant in silence, he thought, it's 2 levels above me. So I should be cautious. I should be able to evade by slowly retreating. Should I go back? Then, taking his weapon called the Tear of Beauty, a blue-bladed dagger with a golden hilt, he thought, no, I can't. If I don't take care of this now, the children of the orphanage, what if they wander through the park tomorrow? It's just a low-level mutant beast. Our protagonist then assumed a fighting stance and thought, with this weapon that Sister Chiang gave me, I can win. And he advanced with a determined look to take down the mutant. Running towards the beast, he continued to think, in all those web novels I read in my past life, the main character always becomes an expert in combat the moment he acquires his powers. Total nonsense. I may not have any combat experience, but I can order the summoned beast of Jiangping to fight. However, his reasoning was interrupted when the rat beast leapt, spinning quickly in the air like an armadillo, coming at him at high speed. If he were hit, it would be like being hit by a tire that came loose from a speeding truck. Huh? I didn't expect this move, he thought, surprised. Then raising his dagger, he activated the full defense mode, blocking the creature's attack. Sparks flew as the friction was generated, and Jang gritted his teeth, putting all his strength in his arms to prevent the advance. The armor is too thick, the Tear of Beauty can't pierce it. I need to be smarter than him, he thought, and in a quick move, he managed to break free, causing the creature to be thrown back. The armadillo rat raised one of its paws and concentrated its energy, creating a series of green spheres. As if I was controlling a video game, but it's me, our protagonist thought, recognizing the attack patterns of the creature, which was launching the green spheres in his direction from the top of a rock. He dodged, predicting, up, down, left, right, left, right. At one point, Zhang started to have fun and even laughed, dodging the deadly attacks, jumping and doing somersaults, even doing a handstand. Then he devised a strategy. The eyes! It's the only part not covered by the armor. It must be its weak point. But when it curls up into a ball for defense, it gets a bit complicated. I need to find a way to break its posture. Then raising his hand, a flame ignited in his fist, and the system informed him. Fire Devourer Basic, capable of devouring flames and converting them into elemental fire energy, storing them within your body. You can also discharge the energy until the stored fire energy in your body is depleted. Current elemental fire energy, 0 out of 100. Smiling, our protagonist thought, got it. First technique of the Pearl Fist, Destroyer style. Jang again adopted the fighting stance with the Tear of Beauty in hand, saying, I never thought those boring history lessons about Pearl Fist would actually be useful. This technique is about crushing the enemy with brute force, perfect for crushing small opponents. Jang rushed towards the rat at high speed, dodging the green spheres being launched. A decoy attack first, he thought, spinning the dagger, and then declared with his flaming fist, Let's go, little rat. The rat curled up again like an armadillo, spinning around itself. Jang was already expecting this and, burning his fist with more intensity, smiled, increasing the flames and thinking, time to crank up the heat. And then he said, no hard feelings, right? Jang buried his fist in the mutant, setting the creature on fire, which grunted and spun. Now's my chance while he's defenseless. Attack his weak point directly, he thought, grabbing his flaming dagger and burying it between the mutant's eyes. A loud explosion was caused, creating a cloud of dust, and amidst the fire, the mutant was taken down. Jang took a deep breath, still with steam coming out of his clothes as the dagger was embedded in the rat's eye and the dust settled. He gained points in resistance, strength and agility, and also leveled up. Real combat really evolves faster than training. Come to think of it, it's strange that this poisonous-tailed rat appeared. It's as if it had been planted here. There shouldn't be other mutant beasts within the city walls except for those celestial foxes, he thought, getting up. Then a purple cloud approached him from behind, trying to gradually dominate him. "What's happening?" he shouted as the smoke enveloped him, trapping him in a black whirlwind. Our protagonist fell into an unknown location, a bright blue dimension, where he heard a voice say, "I'll give you 5 minutes." A hand manipulated his energy, lifting Jang into the air and making him float surrounded by blue energy. Desperate, he thought. That voice, it's the woman from before. The mysterious woman who had approached him earlier appeared again, this time fully formed. She had futuristic glasses, long white hair, and a white dress. She was holding an icy shard sword which she pointed at Jang, saying, "Prove that you are human." Jang was completely immobilized within a cocoon while the girl pointed the ice sword at him. "Prove that I'm human?" he thought, confused. And then he rolled his eyes, suspicious. "But I am human. How should I—" He remained thoughtful, watching the woman standing in front of him with the sword raised in his direction. Prove that I'm human? Could it be that she has noticed that there are also mutant beasts hiding within the city, but couldn't identify them, so she's asking me to prove that I'm myself? She may have already suspected me when I was about to make a move on that little natural order fox. Could the poisonous-tailed rat also have been a test of hers? Smiling in a friendly way, Jang asked, "Can you give me some hints?" To which the girl simply replied, 4 minutes left. Jang repeatedly tried to use his evaluation technique to determine who that woman was, but the system continuously showed the following message. Evaluation failed. Evaluation failed. Evaluation failed. 2 minutes remained. The evaluation attempts had already failed 999 times. It was then that the system showed the following message. Evaluation technique, intermediate level, has been promoted to evaluation technique, advanced level. Evaluation technique, advanced level, capable of evaluating the faction to which the target belongs. Successful evaluation. Then, finally, the girl's status window appeared. It read, Name, Liu Sishan, level 28. Faction, Purification Squad. Talent, Water Element Manipulation. Able to store elemental water energy by drinking water, and can manipulate the elemental water energy in the surroundings and within the body. Jang soon thought, she's strong. She's at level 28. No wonder she was difficult to evaluate. And the Night Wanderer and the Assassination Ring were useless for her too. Her faction is the Purification Squad? I've never heard of that. Could it be the third main organization besides the Patrol Squad and the Investigation Squad? The girl then declared with a frown and an unreceptive expression. You have 1 minute left. Our protagonist then hurried, saying, Wait, if you're calling this little park a training field, that means you're from the same orphanage as me, right? However, he thought, but I don't remember anyone called Liu Sishan from the orphanage. If she's from that place, she must have changed her name. Then, desperate for his life as the ice got tighter and colder, he began to say the names of several children he had grown up with. Are you Liu Turen, Liu Shesheng, Liu Yishu, Liu Xingyu, Liu Sisi? The last name mentioned caught her attention and made her divert the sword strike. That doesn't prove you're human, she declared, approaching him. Judging by her reaction, she must be Liu Sisi. She is 3 years older than me, and when I enrolled at the Pearl Academy, Liu Sisi had already graduated and joined the investigation squad. If there is something that only she and I know, he thought, remembering a conversation he had with Sisi when he was just a child. This move is called Sisi's Invincible Devastator Fist. Make sure to learn how to do it. The white-haired girl with pigtails said, punching the air. Ah, okay, he replied behind her, trying to imitate her. So our protagonist laughed and imitated the movements on the ice, saying, First form, ha, second form, hee-ha, third form, ha-hey-ha, Sisi's Invincible Devastator Fist. The girl remained silent, disbelieving and awestruck. Are you really Sister Sisi? Then you, he asked, but was soon interrupted by the girl who stepped forward and said, Second question. Based on the Academy's information, your ability is the contract gem and you are useless, considering that you are unable to meet the requirements to activate it. Well then, what were you doing during that period? Jang proceeded to answer. 2 weeks ago, I consumed the contract gem and became a summoned beast, and now I can be controlled by myself. This allows me to be immune to the illusions of mutant beasts and expose their disguises. And, based on my recent investigations, there is a large number of natural order foxes hiding in the city. I suspect that the entire tribe has infiltrated the Pearl City. The common talent they possess is called cognitive distortion. Anxiously and in an emergency tone, Cece approached him, grabbing his shoulders and asking, "Are you telling the truth?" Zhang promptly replied, "In the Happy Commercial District, the female boss of the Wanshang breakfast shop, the owner of the Juan furniture. In the Dragon Pearl District, the 3 blacksmiths in the Long Lance weapons workshop, and that little natural order fox that you prevented me from attacking. They are all low-level natural order foxes. You can verify them yourself." Cece turned and walked away, saying, "Wait here. I'll be back soon. Jinbo, do you think this information is reliable?" she asked, clicking on a communicator she was carrying in her hands. In another location, a boy in a yellow jacket and hood responded along with a group. "First of all, we can confirm that mutant beasts like natural order foxes have never been discovered near the Pearl City. But there have been reports of the cognitive distortion ability appearing, and it matches Jiang Ping's description as well. I've already sent people to secretly capture 2 of the closest ones. They should be back soon." Jinbo was holding a small blue sphere that he used as a communicator, until a loud explosion interrupted the conversation between the two. Jin quickly turned around, seeing the heat and light emitted. "What happened?" he asked, and 2 other members of the faction came running towards him. "Leader, it's that female boss of the breakfast shop. She went berserk and broke free as soon as we left the city and started attacking us," one of them shouted while running, being chased by a girl dressed in a waitress uniform with a red dot on her forehead. The waitress jumped towards Jin, raising her hands. The boy looked at her impassively and remained calm, then clenched his fist, concentrating his energy into it and saying, "Die!" He delivered a powerful punch to the girl, hitting her squarely in the chest. The waitress was knocked back with a hole in her stomach, steam rising from her body, while Jin's fist still emanated energy. "What arrogance!" he declared, seeing the damage. Gradually, she disintegrated into dark energy. Her body was dissolving in purple flames and transforming into an armored fox. "It seems the information is legitimate. We finally managed to understand who our enemies are. Inform the other team. Have them eliminate the target immediately," he declared, pointing to the team who, in unison, bowed and responded, "Understood." At the Pearl Academy, Luo Shiyu was resting on the balcony, lying in a lounge chair. Suddenly, something caught her attention. Sitting up abruptly, she startled her assistant. "Master," the assistant exclaimed. Shiyu levitated from her balcony towards the sky, wearing a yellow bikini and a transparent beach cover-up. "Yueju is dead. Someone killed Yueju outside the city. Another one died in the Happy Commercial District, capable of killing us instantly and suppressing their presence immediately afterwards, avoiding my detection," she thought. Her eyes ignited in purple flames. Her purple aura expanded, and she cursed. Her demonic form appeared behind her, a large fox with bones and muscles with red eyes and long claws. "Who the hell is this person?" she asked, her voice dripping with hatred. Back in the dark space where Jiang had been left, our protagonist was conversing with Cece. "Did you verify it?" he asked, now able to move freely. "Yes, but we can't be sure. This sudden ability to see through the illusions of celestial foxes. What if it's a trap? What if they want you to see? That's why you'll be our eyes and ears. I'll protect you in secret for now. If you find anything, contact me at night," the girl responded, standing in front of him. "Protection and surveillance? Okay, as long as we can deal with the celestial foxes, it's fine," he said with a smile on his face while massaging his shoulder. "Here, take this," she said, throwing something at Jiang, who quickly stretched out and caught the object in the air. "This jade pendant comes in pairs. This one is called Cold Jade. Its companion is Hot Jade. If you find yourself in danger, simply cover the cold jade with flames, and the hot jade in my possession will heat up. This will alert me to your situation, and I'll be there as soon as possible. That said, I still recommend that you strengthen yourself. When it comes to safety, never rely entirely on someone else." The girl had her arms crossed, and her back turned to him as he warmed the jade with some flames in his hands. Our protagonist, who was just an ordinary person, scratched his head awkwardly and replied, "I was thinking of learning martial arts. Maybe enroll in a school, but the tuition fees are no joke." The girl then, handing him a martial arts scholarship form, said, "I'll request a subsidy from the organization. In the meantime, see if you can find a suitable martial arts school." Excited, the boy said, "Really? Thank you, Sister Cece." Without responding, she walked away, waving to him. Our protagonist walked through the streets in the daytime, when the sun was shining brightly, thinking, "There have been far fewer celestial foxes around here lately. The purification squad must be doing its job. She didn't tell me her identity. I guess she doesn't trust me that much." If it weren't for the sudden upgrade in my analysis, allowing me to identify someone's faction, I would never have imagined that she was a member of the Purification Squad. But how did they know the Pearl City was being infiltrated by those things in the first place? Never mind. As long as I can help eliminate the Celestial Foxes, nothing else matters. And giving me 10,000 pearl coins up front, that's quite generous. Next to him, a pink-haired girl was announcing, "Learning martial arts? Anyone interested in learning the Fist of the Beast King?" While passers-by avoided her, rejecting the offer. This caught his attention, and Zhang approached her, saying, "Let me see that." The girl smiled and replied, "Of course." With the paper in his hands, he declared, "Wow, this isn't cheap. And who knows if it's right for me?" The vendor opened an enthusiastic smile and replied, "I guarantee it's worth every coin. Our Fist of the Beast King techniques are famous throughout the Pearl City." Then she approached him, standing just a few inches away with a flushed face, and said, "If you don't believe me, I can give you a demonstration." Our protagonist remained silent and sweated a little. The girl stepped back and adopted a fighting stance for the demonstration. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Zhang activated the learning mode and focused on her movements. The first 3 forms of the Fist of the Beast King are the Monkey King style, the Giant Crocodile style, and the Phoenix Claw style. As he observed her, Zhang thought, the Fist of the Beast King techniques, both the movements and the footwork, they are much more advanced than the Pearl Fists. It's truly a good martial arts set. Jumping into the air with a martial kick, the girl declared, "The Monkey King style has many variations, without a fixed style." She alternated between the 3 forms, but Zhang soon came to the conclusion, it's just that she clearly isn't trained enough, not even scratching the surface of what the Fist of the Beast King can truly do, he thought, as he saw the girl fall face first to the ground after jumping to kick the air. It was then that 2 bullies appeared before her, blocking the sun. "Who authorized you, Fist of the Beast King clowns, to distribute flyers here?" one of them asked with his arms crossed. "Are you okay?" Zhang asked, kneeling in front of her and taking her hand. The girl got up and smiled shyly, scratching her head. I'm sorry, I didn't know I couldn't distribute flyers here," she said. Soon, one of the men who had approached declared, gesturing, "Fist of the Beast King, please. That technique is trash. I suggest you come to our Xingyi Fist School instead." Zhang looked surprised, his eyes shining, and then declared, "Wow, the guy with the 5-part lightning knees." The man, consumed by anger, shouted, "It's the 5-part lightning attack, and it will be you who will be on your knees. You'll also have to pay for what you did at the blacksmith shop, and it seems now is the right time to do it. Xiongda, Xiong-er, get him!" He ordered the 2 bullies by his side. The girl stood in front of him and declared, "I won't let you intimidate him," with a determined expression on her face. The 2 bullies activated their abilities, making red lightning cross their bodies. Their muscles swelled, and their eyes turned red. "Get out of the way, little girl, unless you want to get hurt too," the boss declared. Zhang activated his analysis and opened the status window of the 2 bullies. Both were humans and level 4, but what caught his attention was their ability. Flesh Fortification decreases intelligence by 70% in exchange for enhanced physical strength. Maximum upgrade, 30%. Shocked, Zhang exclaimed, "Intelligence for strength? Are you sure that's a real ability?" The 2 roared, consumed by a pulsing rage, salivating. At that moment, they were 2 beasts waiting for the battle to begin. Then, he turned his eyes to the girl and read her status window. Name, Wang Gemin species. Human. Faction, Fist of the Beast King Martial Arts School. Level 3. Ability, Diligent Willpower. Decreases learning ability by 90%, but any skill can be improved through consistent practice. Each day of practice increases the growth rate by 10%, up to a maximum of 1,000%. Admired, he thought. Wow, her potential is so high. This girl, Wang Jiamin, she's blossoming late, a powerful talent in development. But now she's just looking for trouble with this strength. Zhang then took all the flyers and placed them in the girl's hands, who held them confused. Pushing her aside by the shoulders, he said, "This is my problem. I'll take care of it alone. They have 3 people. You'll only suffer defeats like this." The bullies continued to pose in the background, while the girl simply accepted that she wouldn't be participating. Zhang raised his hand and activated his energy, his eyes shining in an intense cyan blue, and he said, "Don't worry about this. You just showed me how to do the Monkey King style, didn't you? These guys arrived just in time for me to practice a little." One of the bullies jumped up shouting, "You arrogant brat! With his hands raised and lightning covering his body, the giant advanced, but Zhang skillfully dodged and struck his neck with his hand, declaring, "First form!" The other bully advanced towards him with a charged punch, and our protagonist prepared to retaliate. Burying his fist in the opponent's belly, he generated a strong impact that pierced through his body. "Second form!" exclaimed Zhang. The boss then entered the fight, activating his 5-part lightning ability. His body was covered in yellow lightning that emanated from him and expanded around him. Zhang appeared, kneeing the man in the groin, who screamed in pain. "Third form!" declared Zhang, striking again. With the man bent over in front of him, protecting his private parts with his hand, Zhang mocked, "Too bad. It seems you're 2 people short. How does it feel, having your precious 5-part lightning reduced to just 3 kneeling?" The man did not respond, remaining completely confused and stunned on the ground. Zhang then approached the girl and said, "Come, take me to the Fist of the Beast King martial arts school to enroll." Excited, she asked if he was serious, and he replied that yes, he was. She then said, "That was amazing. You learned the Monkey King style just by seeing it once. If there's any movement I don't understand in the future, can you teach me?" Zhang replied, "Of course." The girl made a thumbs up with her flushed face and continued, "Really? Incredible. With your help, I can become strong in no time." Looking at her tenderly, Zhang thought, "You have a 7-star potential. You may even become a high-level awakened one. Maybe one day I'll need your help." At the King of Beasts martial school, someone asked, "Has anyone seen the instructor at the market?" Another exclaimed, "What? The instructor has returned." The students gathered desperately, unable to believe it. It was chaotic. "Time to pay for having relaxed, losers." One of them laughed, mocking his classmates. "Wow, I thought the instructor wouldn't be back for a few days," said another. "What are we going to do? I haven't even learned half of the Monkey King style moves," said another, putting his hands on his head in complete despair. "Hey, earth to the lazy ones, get up," said one, trying to revive a classmate who had fainted and was sleeping silently. "Why are you all so afraid of this instructor anyway?" asked Zhang. Jimin soon replied, hiding her face in her hands anxiously. "Instructor Bai Day is legendary for his thoroughness. Anyone who has not completed their tasks will be severely punished." Zhang then asked, "And what about you? Have you been punished before?" With a certain doubtful pride, the girl replied, "Only every other day. I've been here for over a month, and I still can't even do the basic moves right." Confused, Zhang looked at her and wondered, "Is that something to boast about?" The doors of the training hall opened, and a male figure emerged in the daylight. "Instructor, sir," they all said, lining up in front of him. "Quickly, get into attention position," Jimin said to Zhang. "Attention, anyone who is sloppy will run 50 laps. Don't even think about slacking off," the instructor declared loudly. He was a middle-aged man with a beard and white hair, well-muscled, the famous DLF. Our protagonist analyzed him, and the system showed the following. Name, Bai D level 25. Ability, Mimetic Hunger. By consuming a creature, Bai D can temporarily assume its physical form. The number of forms he can store depends on his level. Current forms, Running Wolf, Furious Lion Warrior. In unison, they all responded, "Yes, sir." Zhang watched him attentively, thinking, "He's strong, level 25. He's practically on the same level as Sister Cece." Instructor Bai was drawn to Zhang's attention and approached him, saying, "You're the boy who took down those Xingyi clowns yesterday, aren't you?" Our protagonist looked at him with his chin raised and replied, "And what if I am?" With his teeth clenched by the audacity, Bai closed his fist and said, "Oh, all right, boy, let's see what you're made of." Zhang tried to break free from the attack, shouting, "Wait a second." While dodging the instructor's continuous attacks with mastery, Zhang asked, "You're going too far. What's the point of attacking a novice like me?" The instructor replied, still attacking. "A novice? Then why have I heard that you learned the Monkey King style just by watching a single demonstration?" Bai advanced towards him with flaming fists. "Damn, no time to dodge," Zhang thought, as one of Bai's fists approached his face. The sweat ran down and he clenched his teeth as he realized he was about to be hit. Suddenly the flame stopped, and the instructor started to caress his head suddenly, smiling. "I didn't believe it either, until now," he said, laughing. Zhang looked at him without understanding anything at all. "You have talent, boy. It's a shame that the person who showed you the Monkey King style was a mediocre practitioner. Some of the moves are completely wrong," the instructor said, while Jiamin gestured awkwardly, biting her tongue in silence. "Thank you, instructor,"